So, Jen decided to buy our very last set of dungeon tiles because she's got all of them except for this one, and I thought we could show you what's inside it.
Hello, I'm Jen. This is the Dungeon Tiles Reincarnated Wilderness set. As mentioned, I have already got the dungeon and the city, yes. I particularly like them.
You should have seen when she unboxed. Was adorable.
The phrase "it was like Christmas morning" springs to mind. I like these generally because they're very nice to use. They're very cleanly done anyway. I don't know what the Wilderness set is like, but the other two I've liked before. Like others, they come in a nice sleeve. The dungeon tiles and the city ones come again in this similar box. Except theirs is obviously more dungeon themed, so the dungeon one has lots of squares, as in tile squares, and the city has rooftops on it. But yeah, we have a nice box. Again, you've got the grid patterning, so you can do all that kind of thing. Inside, however, it's like Christmas morning indeed. So, like the others, they all come in and they have a pop-out style. On the top, it looks as if we got a giant crater and some things that would come up. Well, things, warfare stuff, I suppose. So you can probably not only just use this for wilderness, but battlefield effects as well.
Siege equipment.
We all like some siege equipment. Right, I'm just going to fight to get this open. On guard. Huzzah. And also a piece of cardboard. So, in no particular order from the top, what I quite like again about them, ooh, that's clever, it's got a hill as well on the other side.
Hill fort!
Woo! Is that they actually have pop-out ones. Now, I used to own a
very, very old
one, 1982's Game Workshop version of these, and you had to manually cut them all out. As you can imagine, I eventually gave up. But yeah, you've got things like hill forts, broken siege fair equipment, which is quite cool.
That's the thing I like about them. A lot of the time, they've got one thing on one side and something
on the other.
Hang on. Sorry, problems of filming in a shop where the phone goes off.
Yeah, bring. But yeah, like we were saying, what's quite good is they have a double-sided sort of effect, so you can, each tile isn't just a flat one-use tile. You can have multiple things. For example, you have a pile of wood, and on the other side you have a bunch of training mannequins, dummies or whatever you want to call them.
One thing I liked about the dungeon tile specifically was that one side of one could be plain, and then the other side had a trap. So when you flipped it over and activated the trap, they could see what was there.
And it's little clever things like that. Obviously, you just pop them out one at a time. So here we've got some things like ruins or going down into a dungeon. So it allows a lot of combining with other things as well. For example, the city has grass things, so if you wanted to, you could have stuff like this outside the city if you wanted a big extended play battlefield. The other side, tents, encampments, ponds and lakes, things that you would find in a wilderness. I'm not going to unpop them all right now because I will just make a mess of everything.
Let's have a look at what the ones we've got.
Yeah, so you have a nice big green battlefield, you have a trench dug. The other side, you have a camp and a river by it. You've got a nice pathway here on this one. Again, more wilderness and lake things. Ooh.
Oh, it's a stone circle.
Yeah, that took me a while.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And again, you've got more of the river effects, because that's the other thing I quite like, is that it's really easy to connect them. So, more wilderness. A broken-in tower, again, you can combine it with a lot of other things. Bridges and things going over water. Massive. That's a downward slope, so you've got a ledge and things, so you can have different almost heights of things. You've got your abandoned jetties somewhere in the wilderness, and again, your other things. Bits of wood, pontooning. Again, also you've got water effects ones, so
a boat.
Rafts and that.
And a statue. What's that?
I don't know.
I think it's a dragon. Is that a
dragon?
dragon?
No, it's got his hands holding something. It might be like a
Oh, it's a lizard person.
Lizard person, yeah.
Cool.
And you've got, obviously, its broken partner on the other side. Again, you've got all these variation terrain effects, which is quite nice. And I like the fact that it's very continuous and open. When you had the dungeon ones, for example, though, you'd have bits of it where it would be darkened out and, you know, things like that to represent almost a cave complex. But yeah, you've got a nice collection of marshland and your bridges and things that would go over it. More marshland, more bridges, bits of wood and things, stuff like that. But by the looks of things, you also have things like your ruined fortifications, which is quite nice. You've got your statues and your wells. And then you also have your clearings and bits in the forest. More stones, more henges. And wow, we've got desert stuff as well, that's amazing. Lots of trees. Everyone likes some trees. Got some big tiles again for your ruins. This is quite exciting. You have desert tiles.
Desert! Oh.
It's a bit sandy.
A bit sandy.
Yep. But there's a lot of different things in this as well. So you could have different terrains. Like, if you don't necessarily always have to do in a forest, which allows, again, variation and stuff. You have your oasis. You have a transition point. Look, transition. You don't get that. More transitioning, grass to desertland and tents and...
That's a dragon-hide tent? Oh, no, it's not. It's brocade.
It's brocade.
It's brocade!
Dragons
They've got a brocade tent.
Dragons can be fabulous too. But yeah, if you wanted to, you could almost create an island with this terrain stuff as well and patch it all around. And you've got desert tracks and a lot of water. But yeah, that is the Dungeon Tiles Wilderness set.
Woo!
Woo!
With surprise appearance from mildly broken Tiamat in the corner.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Jem.